Want more to listen to while you draw and paint? Remember to visit schoolism.com. You'll find art courses, live workshops, and over 100 free video interviews with many of the top artists in the art industry. Where do professionals go to keep learning? Schoolism.com. Hey everybody, Bobby Chiu here. I've had a few requests to show my sketchbook, and that's what I want to make this video all about, is a little sketchbook tour. So this is my sketchbook of ideas from 2016. So why don't we take a look? So first things first, what kind of sketchbook do I use? Well, in this one in particular, this one's a Robert Bateman sketchbook that I really love because, of course, it's 100% recycled paper, so that's really nice. But the thickness of it, I also really like. Okay, and what kind of pencil do I use? A lot of people ask that question. So this is a Kohl Erase Black. I like to use Kohl Erase pencils because they tend not to smudge nearly as much as the regular pencils. It's just a little bit more greasy or smooth or something. A lot of times I will draw in little sketches, some times of things that I'm working on. I believe these were times of each section of a workshop I was doing. And of course you can see another little thumbnail right there. Now this one is our hero here is going around the corner in some sort of cave or something like that, and there's light coming from around the corner, and there's all these bodies. So what's behind the corner? Don't know. Here's something that I love to do ever since I was working at a television studio. Before I started my own studio, I was working at a television studio where I was a data manager. So what do you draw as data manager? Pretty much nothing. So, I would condense these little pen drawings because I wasn't an artist, so it would seem more natural if I just had a pen with me. So I would do these little doodles, and I'd do them really close together so that I can use the same piece of paper all day and just draw. This one is an idea of this little mouse has kind of like a fairy godmother. What's it gonna wish for? I don't know. Sometimes, it's just the start of a idea, but not an ending. And these are very much just like my raw thoughts here. So this is an idea of a creature that is just a little too kind. It's just like the kindest creature in the forest, and all the other animals kind of abuse its kindness, which happens sometimes in society, and that's where I get a lot of my inspiration from. I kind of show them in creatures and things like that. So he's gotten his eye taken. Who knows what else he's gotten taken. But the last thing that he's getting taken is his heart, and this frog is kind of just stealing his heart. And once the frog goes far enough, I kind of pictured that the veins would snap, and then this guy would kind of die. Where is that story gonna lead? Is he gonna rise up? Is she gonna rise up? I don't know. This one is of I kind of picture like a big grumpy creature with a little creature as a friend or as a child. And even though he's very serious, even though he's very kind of always just very serious, he still will go out of his comfort zone and show his playful side for the sake of his son. And this relationship actually reminds me very much of my dad, because he's very, he's a very kind of serious person, but he would always, joke around with us, and he always loved his kids so much, and he really shows that he loves his kids. So, I was just thinking about my dad, that one. These ones I didn't really like. Kind of like these ones. This is, kind of like an imposter. Somebody that's trying to act like who they think they should be, instead of working on who they truly are. And so it's, a lot of times my inspiration comes from different things I see in society, different things I experience, different relationships that I might see develop, things like that. And a lot of those relationships inspire me to do a lot of my creature art. So this is one example of it. This one is just a couple lovebirds, and I painted this one. This was a sketch that I really loved. That I still really love. It's of this plant character. I do a lot of these plant characters. And it's meditating. It's meditating so much that its, head has really grown a lot of these branches and leaves and everything. And it's kind of meditated so much that it's grown roots that has helped to elevate him. So he's kind of like levitating, which I thought was fun. And then I put a bunch of little forest creatures around him that want to share in this little guy's energy, and meditate around him. A turtle, a frog, they're about to kick some butt. And who are they fighting? Oh, it's this little bird. Why do they need such big sticks to fight this little bird? What does this little bird know? I don't know. But I would kind of imagine that this little bird can really kick some butt, and that's why two big creatures are needed to confront this little bird. This one was the idea behind this. I was just drinking coffee. These guys are kind of pictured as kind of staring off, watching the apocalypse happen. This one didn't really have much of a story. It's just a bunch of little travelers traveling along, going on their little journey. Random sketches there. This one I really kind of liked. I don't know if I'll do anything more with it, but it was definitely fun to draw. So in my head, the idea was that this bear is this blind kind of bear with this hypnotic eye. It's blind, but it can somehow see and move around just through its psychic senses kind of thing. And it goes around and collects frogs and hypnotizes frogs for its frog army. And you'll see, actually, in a lot of my art, I put some, little symbolism here and there. A lot of times you'll see butterflies. Every time you see a butterfly in pretty much all of my art, it symbolizes distraction. Just like when you see a butterfly, a lot of times you see it fluttering by, everybody stops and looks at the butterfly and just stops what they're saying and just looks at the butterfly until it's gone. It's kind of like a distraction. This was a drawing that I did. I titled it A Mother's Love because I was thinking about my mom at the time. I was thinking about all the pain and suffering that moms go through, from their kids, really just thinking about me and the pain and suffering my mom went through raising me, and how she still loved me, So it's a funny thing, parenthood, right? And that's why I did this one. Eventually I made this one into a painting. Some random sketches, some failure sketches. Don't know what I want to draw here, so I just kept drawing birds. Sometimes it's good to just draw things that are familiar, things that you can draw pretty easily, and you just draw, a whole bunch of them. And as you start drawing, what I do is I kind of go to myself, okay, I'm going to allow myself 30 minutes of not having one single good idea. Let's just keep drawing. And almost pretty much every time, by the end of the 30 minutes, I'll have some sort of an idea. It's just brainless drawing until an idea comes out. And if an idea doesn't come out, you just keep drawing. As you can see here, I went horizontal now and just drawing more birds. And did that turn into anything? Well, not totally just yet. drawing to almost a finish so quickly without the rest of it all planned out kind of ruined this drawing for me. So that's a good tip, you know, try to work your whole entire drawing at once. So here's some little thumbnails here, and these are important because these are the initial idea. You know, so what's the idea here? Well, it's a group of creatures, and I guess they can kind of float, you know, so you got the parents, you got the kids. This one is of just a strange kind of caterpillar, different shapes for different kinds of creatures, the start of a little baby dragon, and then this thing. What is this? Well, this turned into this, which I didn't really like, and then I redid it. I did it like that, and that one I thought was like, it was okay. Here's another good example of that kind of process. So, you know, started off, I was just drawing this mouth, and I was like, oh, that's kind of like an interesting mouth. And then I just kind of freeform just drew it. You know how I was saying before, sometimes drawing like this can ruin your whole entire drawing because you're just starting from a corner and you just keep going. That becomes kind of part of the process sometimes. You just keep drawing from one corner to the next, expecting to make kind of like a bad drawing, but that helps you to work out a lot of questions in your head. So I never expected this drawing to be a good one. I always expected this one to be a bad one. And then after that, then you take all the information that you figured out, all the sketching that you did, and you redo it. You know, a lot of times the difference between an artist that you really love and an artist that might seem a little bit more junior is the fact that the junior guys don't go through as many steps as the professionals. The professionals tend to have much more of a respect of the process and of fundamentals. Here's another example of just a raw, ugly drawing. I was not meaning to do anything good, but I wanted to work out the idea. And then from there, I made this one. I kind of like this one more, at least. Still a little weird. This one is of zombie animal creatures, and they're all following the butterflies. If you really kind of think about it, I did definitely take this from things that I see in society. This one, I was just thinking of this cute little waiter, and she dropped her stuff. This one was a failed idea as well, but I was just thinking of this knight that's trying to use its jousting stick to defeat this big creature, and it barely even dented him. So a lot of these ideas, like I said, these are very much the raw ideas, and then some of them I tend to like. A lot of these I never posted, but here's one that I posted for Inktober in October. You're supposed to do ink drawings, and the topic was camouflage or blending in or something like that. So as you can see, the idea is that they're all stuffed toys with a little demon kind of hiding amongst the stuffed toys. This one I was thinking about, you know how like Bugs Bunny kind of comes out of his hole and he's always lost in the cartoons, but so this is kind of like a version of that, where this bunny comes out of its hole, it's looking at its map, doesn't know where to go, but popped up at the wrong place because you can see these big predatory eyes in the background. This one is about you know, these two rock parents. They have a newborn rock. Horse head. Failed. See, this is what happens when I don't do enough sketches and I just kind of go into something. A lot of times I hate it. I even put crop marks on it because I wanted to make it so finalized. It just didn't work. More aimless sketches. And there you go. Subscribe to this channel so you won't miss out on the latest artist interviews, tutorials, and other news/advice made especially for the art community. If you find these videos helpful, pass them on to the other artists in your life. Thanks for watching.